The number one conversation I'm having with home sellers right now is how can we make them the most flexible to buy their next home?
I keep it real. I keep it real. I keep it real. Just keep it real.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sam Hartman, keeping it real estate in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I'm with Steve Hostetter with Bailey & Wood Financial Group today to talk about a creative financing option for home sellers to be able to buy their next property and be as flexible as possible in the process. How we doing, Steve?
I'm great, man. How about yourself?
Awesome. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us and have this conversation that I'm having constantly with home sellers out there, because people don't sell their home to then be homeless.
Yeah.
It's the biggest challenge in today's market for a home seller is not getting the house sold, but finding the house that they want to buy.
Yeah.
And to be a home buyer and have a home to sell and write a contingent offer is, I'm sure you know, it's dead in the water.
Yep.
It's just too competitive of a real estate market right now to be writing contingent offers.
Yeah.
And so we're here today to talk about some creative financing options that home sellers might be able to pursue to make them the most flexible buyers at the same time.
Yeah.
So we talked about it off camera. What's one of those creative options that we were talking about?
Yeah, so for a lot of folks buying their second, third, fourth home, whatever the situation is, they have enough money for the minimum down payment, whether, and that's 5% on a conventional loan. So a lot of folks, when they're going into their second, third home, can't afford to come up out of pocket 5%. Mm-hmm. But they know selling their current home, they have a lot of equity because, we've had a lot of appreciation in the market.
Sure.
And, a lot of folks don't want to, after they sell their home, just stick $100,000 in their savings account, which that's cool. But not paying interest on your new home is what a lot of people want to avoid.
Most people are using the equity in their current home to make that move up to the bigger home, the nicer neighborhood, the more space for the growing family and everything like that.
Yeah.
So let's say they bought their home for $200,000 and today they can sell it for $300,000. That's at minimum $100,000 of equity that they have built in their home just from price appreciation.
Yeah.
So how can we use that equity to buy this next home?
Yeah, and so many people, when they sell their home and have that equity, want to put it onto their new home to keep their new payment lower, right? And so that's so important to help with the monthly budget and make sure it's affordable. But, like you were saying, if you say, hey, I want to sell my home before I buy your home, but I don't have it sold yet, a lot of sellers aren't interested in that. So what we have to do is talk about something called a recast. So if you have that 5%, like we talked about, minimum to put down, and then maybe 2 weeks, a month, 2 months after you buy that new home, you're going to sell that home that you're in right now and have that pile of cash to apply to your current mortgage. You can come in and do something called a recast. That is where you call up your lender, and this is only on conventional loans. We can't do this on an
Only
FHA.
Conventional loans, got it.
But you call your current lender and you say, hey, I want to apply this money towards the principal balance of my mortgage, and I want to reduce my payment now. And you can do that. It's called a recast. You do need to make sure going into the process of buying that lender allows that. Not all lenders do. A lot do, but not all do. But that's what it is. You call your lender, you apply that money after you buy the home, and it's different than a refinance. So on a refinance, you have to take the current market rate, right? On this, you keep your current rate, you keep the current length of the loan. They just, what's called a reamortization. They recalculate your payment based off the current rate and term left, and you get a new payment.
So is there any cost for them to participate in this recasting program?
Yeah, it's pretty nominal though. It's typically between $300 to $600. It varies by lender.
Okay.
So there's no set cost I can give you, but it's not nearly the cost or time involved that a refinance would be.
Sure. And then you're also looking at potentially losing the interest rate that you locked in previously if you do a refinance as well.
Yeah.
And then are you limited on how many times you can do a recast? Like say you bought a home 5 years ago and you won the lottery and you wanted to put a chunk of that money on your current mortgage. Could you go to your mortgage lender and ask them to recast at that point?
Typically, yes. They're for most lenders, and I have to be careful with that because this is not uniform.
Sure.
But for most lenders, you can do multiple recasts. So you can go in and if you had a bonus or you won the lottery like you talked about and you want to apply it, you can do that multiple times.
Okay, and then so I buy a home today. I'm gonna sell my home in the next 30 to 45 days, and I'm gonna recast then after that. Is there a time frame that I have to wait before I can get with my lender, put that extra chunk of money down to recast the mortgage?
Yeah, you're gonna need to wait a couple months,
Okay.
most likely, because typically a mortgage after it closes, it takes a little while for it to get set up and possibly what servicer it's going to be with. And so you need to at least have made your first payment before you can start this process.
Okay, awesome. So recasting, there it is. It's the minimum down payment, and it gives you to buy your next home, and it gives you the flexibility to sell your home on your timing, on your schedule, and take the proceeds and make that next home more affordable by putting that lump sum on the mortgage, bringing the mortgage payment down, getting rid of mortgage insurance, making the balance lower so your payment's more affordable. That is one of the most basic, creative ways that we can help home sellers today be the most flexible in their home buying process. I hope this information was helpful. If you like this video, if you know of anyone that could value from this information, make sure you like it, comment, share it with them, and let me know what questions you have as a home seller out there in the market that I can help answer on my next video.